My name is Elena. I'm a beautiful 26-year-old, and when my mom looked me straight in the eyes and said, "We're not celebrating Christmas with you this year," I swear it felt like someone reached into my chest and ripped my heart out with their bare hands. I stood there in her kitchen, the same kitchen where I'd helped her bake cookies every December since I was 7 years old, and I couldn't breathe. This story gets intense. It gets messy, and it ends in a way that even I didn't see coming. So please, stick with me until the end because you need to hear how this plays out. Before you go anywhere, I need you to do something for me right now. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button like your life depends on it. And drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. Are you in New York? Los Angeles? Chicago? Miami? Let me know, because I want to know that I'm not alone in this. I want to know that someone out there understands what it feels like to be thrown away by the people who are supposed to love you unconditionally. Let me take you back so you understand how deep this betrayal cuts. I've always been the responsible one in my family. Always. While my older brother Marcus was out partying his way through college, and my younger sister Jade was busy building her influencer career and forgetting to return anyone's phone calls, I was the one showing up. I was the one organizing. I was the one making sure birthdays were remembered, that mom got her Mother's Day flowers, that Thanksgiving dinner actually happened. And Christmas? Christmas was my thing. For the past 5 years, I've been the one hosting Christmas at my apartment. It started small when I moved into my first real place after college. Mom said I had such a gift for making things cozy and festive, and that my apartment was perfect for gatherings. Looking back now, I can see it for what it was. She didn't want the mess in her house. She didn't want the stress of cooking. She wanted me to do all the work while she showed up and took credit for raising such a thoughtful daughter. But I didn't see it then. I was just happy to be needed, happy to be the glue holding our family together. So every year, I'd spend hundreds of dollars I barely had on decorations, food, and gifts. I'd clean my apartment until 3 in the morning. I'd cook for 2 days straight. I'd make sure everyone's dietary preferences were honored, that there were vegan options for Jade, that Marcus's girlfriend felt included, that mom's favorite cranberry sauce recipe was executed perfectly. And every year, they'd show up, eat my food, exchange gifts in my living room, take photos for social media, and then leave. Sometimes they wouldn't even help clean up. I'd stand in my destroyed apartment at 11 at night, scraping dried mashed potatoes off plates, and tell myself it was worth it because family is everything. Right? This year started like every other year. In early November, I texted the family group chat, "Who's ready to start planning Christmas?" with a bunch of festive emojis. Usually, everyone responds right away. Mom sends her list of what she wants me to cook. Marcus confirms he's coming. Jade asks if she can bring her newest boyfriend. But this year, nothing. Radio silence. The message just sat there with those 3 little dots showing that people had read it, but nobody responded. I figured everyone was busy. November is a hectic month, right? So I waited a few days and sent another message. "Hey fam, I really need to start planning. Can everyone confirm they're coming for Christmas at my place?" Mom finally responded, but all she said was, "We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later." For words that made my stomach drop, but I convinced myself I was overreacting. I called her the next day, and she didn't pick up. I called again that evening. Straight to voicemail. I texted, "Mom, is everything okay? Did I do something wrong?" No response. This went on for 2 weeks. Every attempt I made to reach out was met with silence or the most bare minimum responses. "I'm busy." "Not now, Elena. I'll call you back." But she never called back. None of them did. If you're still here, if you're listening to this and your heart is breaking for me, then do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that button right now. Don't just lurk in the shadows consuming these stories and then disappearing. If you've ever felt excluded by your own family, if you've ever been the one putting in all the effort just to be ignored, then you understand what I'm going through. And if you won't subscribe, at least have the decency to comment and tell me why. Tell me what's stopping you from supporting someone who's pouring their pain out for you to hear. By mid-November, I started noticing things that made my blood run cold. I was scrolling through Instagram late one night. unable to sleep because of the anxiety gnawing at my gut, and I saw that Jade had posted a story. It was a screenshot of a group chat. Not our family group chat. A different one. One that I wasn't in. And in that screenshot, I could see messages about the big Christmas dinner and making sure the menu is perfect this year. My hands started shaking. I took a screenshot before the story disappeared, and I zoomed in, reading every visible word like my life depended on it. They were planning Christmas without me. My entire family had created a separate group chat and were planning a celebration that I wasn't invited to. And from what I could see, my mom was the one leading the conversation. I felt like I was going to throw up. I called Jade immediately, even though it was almost midnight. She answered on the fifth ring, her voice groggy and annoyed. Elena, what? It's late. Jade, what group chat was that? The one you posted about Christmas dinner? There was a long, terrible pause. Then she said, "Oh, that was nothing. Just random family stuff." Random family stuff about Christmas dinner? Jade, am I not invited to Christmas? Elena, I can't talk about this right now.
Talk to Mom.
And she hung up on me. My own little sister hung up on me like I was some annoying telemarketer. I tried calling Marcus next. He didn't pick up. I texted him, and hours later he responded, "Stay out of it, Elena. This isn't about you. This isn't about me. Christmas isn't about me. The person who's hosted Christmas for 5 straight years?" I couldn't sleep that night. I couldn't eat. I called out sick from work the next day because I was having full-blown panic attacks. What had I done wrong? I replayed every family interaction from the past year in my mind, searching for the moment I'd screwed up so badly that I deserved to be cut out of Christmas. Had I said something offensive at Thanksgiving? No, Thanksgiving had been fine. We'd all eaten together at Mom's house, and everyone seemed happy. Had I forgotten someone's birthday? No, I never forget birthdays. I'm the only one who remembers birthdays. Had I not been supportive enough of Jade's influencer career or Marcus's new job? I'd literally thrown Marcus a congratulations dinner when he got promoted, and I was constantly commenting on and sharing Jade's posts. I was going insane trying to figure it out, and nobody would give me a straight answer. Listen, if you're still watching, if you're still here with me in this nightmare, you need to subscribe right now. Don't just sit there passively watching my life fall apart for your entertainment. Hit that subscribe button. Show me that you care. Show me that you see me. And if you're too stubborn or too lazy to do it, then comment and tell me why you refuse. Tell me what's so hard about clicking a button to support someone who's sharing their most painful moments with you. Finally, 3 weeks before Christmas, I decided I was done being ignored. I drove to my mom's house unannounced. I walked right up to her door and knocked until she answered. When she opened the door and saw me standing there, the look on her face wasn't surprise. It was annoyance. Like I was some unwanted solicitor interrupting her day. "Elena, what are you doing here?" "We need to talk, Mom. Now." She sighed like I was the most exhausting person on the planet and let me in. We sat in her living room, the same living room where we used to watch Christmas movies together when I was a kid, and the tension was so thick I could barely breathe through it. "Mom, what is going on? Why is everyone avoiding me? Why are you planning Christmas without me?" She looked at me, and there wasn't an ounce of guilt or remorse in her eyes. Just cold indifference. "Elena, we've decided to have a smaller, more intimate Christmas this year.
Just the core family."
"I am core family. I'm your daughter. You know what I mean. We're doing things differently this year. We need a break." "A break? A break from what?" "From me hosting and cooking and paying for everything." She stood up, clearly done with this conversation. "This isn't up for discussion. We've made our decision. We're not celebrating Christmas with you this year. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but you'll have to deal with it." Those words. Those exact words. "We're not celebrating Christmas with you this year." They came out of her mouth so casually, like she was telling me she wasn't going to make it to coffee next week. Not like she was excluding me from the most important family holiday of the year. Not like she was telling her own daughter that she wasn't wanted. I sat there in stunned silence, tears streaming down my face, and she just stood there looking at me with this expression of impatience. like she was waiting for me to leave so she could get back to her day.
Why?
I finally choked out. What did I do? It's not about what you did, Elena.
We just need space.
You've become too controlling about the holidays. Too intense. We need to do Christmas our way for once. Controlling? Intense? I had become those things because I was the only one who cared enough to make Christmas happen. I was the only one who put in any effort. But I could see it in her face. She didn't care about my feelings. She didn't care that she was destroying me. Her mind was made up, and I was expected to just accept it and disappear quietly. So I left. I walked out of her house, got in my car, and I screamed. I screamed until my throat was raw, and my voice gave out. I screamed because I had given everything to these people, and they had thrown me away like I was nothing. Here's what I need you to understand. If you're sitting there watching this, if you're invested in my story, then you need to subscribe. You need to hit that button right now because if you want to see how this ends, if you want to see how I clawed my way back from this devastation, then you have to support this channel. Don't just watch silently. Don't just consume my pain and trauma for free entertainment.
Subscribe.
Or tell me in the comments why you haven't yet. Tell me what's stopping you. I'm pouring my soul out here, and the least you can do is click a button. The weeks that followed were the darkest of my life. I stopped answering calls from anyone. I stopped checking social media because I couldn't stand seeing my family's happy posts, knowing they were planning a celebration that I was deliberately excluded from. I went to work, came home, and sat in the dark. I cried more than I've ever cried in my entire life. I felt worthless, unwanted, completely disposable. But then something shifted. About 2 weeks before Christmas, I was lying on my couch in my pajamas at 2 in the afternoon, staring at the ceiling, and I had this thought. Why am I letting them destroy me? Why was I sitting here in the dark, mourning people who clearly didn't value me? Why was I giving them so much power over my happiness? They had made their choice. They had excluded me. But that didn't mean I had to spend Christmas alone and miserable. That didn't mean I had to let them win. So, I made a decision. I was going to have the best Christmas of my entire life, and I was going to do it without them. I texted my 3 closest friends, people who had been checking on me constantly throughout this nightmare, and I said, I'm hosting Christmas dinner at my place. Just us. Are you in? They all responded within minutes.
Yes.
Absolutely. We're there. And just like that, I had a purpose again. I wasn't going to sit around waiting for my family to change their minds or apologize. I was going to create my own family, my own traditions, my own joy. I went all out. I decorated my apartment like never before. Lights everywhere. A massive tree. Stockings with my friends' names on them. I planned a menu of all our favorite foods, not the traditional stuff my mom always insisted on, but the things we actually loved. I bought thoughtful gifts for each person. I created a playlist of our favorite songs, not just Christmas carols, but music that made us happy. And on Christmas Day, my apartment was full of love and laughter and warmth. We cooked together. We drank wine and hot chocolate. We watched movies and played games and told stories. We took photos, so many photos, all of us smiling and genuinely happy. For the first time in years, Christmas wasn't stressful. It wasn't about meeting anyone's expectations or making sure everything was perfect. It was just about being with people who actually wanted to be with me. And maybe I shouldn't have done this, but I posted photos. I posted them all over social media. Pictures of my beautifully decorated apartment, of the incredible food we made, of my friends and me laughing and clearly having the time of our lives. I captioned them, grateful for chosen family and the best Christmas celebration ever. I didn't tag anyone from my biological family. I didn't mention them at all. But I knew they'd see it. And I wanted them to. If you've made it this far, if you're still here with me, then you need to subscribe right now. Don't be selfish. Don't just watch these stories and disappear. Hit that subscribe button so stories like this keep coming. So people like me keep having a platform to share what we've been through. And if you refuse, if you're just going to keep watching without supporting, then at least comment and tell me why.
Tell me what's so difficult about it.
Sure enough, the day after Christmas, my phone started blowing up. First, it was Jade. She sent me a long text about how beautiful my Christmas looked and how she wished she could have been there. I didn't respond. Then Marcus called. He left a voicemail saying he hoped I had a good holiday and that we should catch up soon. I deleted it. But it was my mom's call that really got to me. She called 3 days after Christmas, and I almost didn't answer. But something told me I needed to hear what she had to say. I needed this confrontation. "Elena, we need to talk about these photos you posted." That's how she started the conversation. Not "I'm sorry," not "I made a mistake," but criticism about my social media posts. "What about them, Mom? You made it look like you had this amazing Christmas without us. Like you didn't need your family. Do you know how that made me feel?" And something inside me snapped. All the pain, all the anger, all the months of being dismissed and ignored came pouring out. "How that made you feel? Are you actually serious right now? You excluded me from Christmas. You created a whole separate group chat and planned a celebration without me, and then told me to my face that you weren't celebrating with me this year. And now you're upset because I had the audacity to not sit home alone crying? Elena, that's not fair."
No.
"You don't get to do that. You don't get to play the victim here. I spent 5 years hosting Christmas for this family. I spent my time, my money, my energy making sure everyone had a perfect holiday, and you repaid me by cutting me out without even a real explanation. You said I was too controlling, too intense, but the truth is I was just the only one who cared." There was silence on the other end. For once, my mother had nothing to say. "You made it clear I wasn't wanted," I continued, my voice shaking but strong. "You made it clear that I wasn't part of the family anymore. So I honored that. I moved on. I built a Christmas with people who actually love me and want me around. And if that makes you uncomfortable, if that hurts your feelings, then good. Now you know how I felt. Elena, we didn't mean for it to be like this." "Yes, you did. You made a choice. You chose to exclude me, and you did it knowing it would hurt me. And you did it anyway because you didn't think there would be consequences. You thought I'd just sit there and take it and come crawling back eventually. But I'm done. I'm done begging for scraps of love from people who should love me unconditionally. I'm done being the glue that holds this family together while you all take me for granted." "So, what are you saying? You're abandoning your family?" And that question, that audacity to frame it like I was the one doing something wrong, it would have broken me a month ago.
But now?
Now I saw it for what it was. Manipulation. Guilt-tripping. An attempt to make me feel responsible for a situation I didn't create. I'm not abandoning anyone, Mom. I'm setting boundaries. I'm choosing to spend my time and energy on people who value me. If that doesn't include you, that's not my fault. That's yours. I hung up before she could respond. And for the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. The weeks that followed were strange. My mom called a few more times and eventually I answered. We had difficult conversations. She tried to justify the exclusion, tried to make excuses, but I didn't let her. I held firm to my boundaries. I told her that if she wanted a relationship with me, it would be on different terms. No more taking me for granted. No more expecting me to do all the emotional labor while getting nothing in return. No more exclusion without explanation. It was hard. She didn't like it. There were moments where I thought she was going to cut me off entirely, and I had to make peace with that possibility. But slowly something shifted. She started actually listening. She started apologizing, not just surface level, "I'm sorry you feel that way," apologies, but real acknowledgement of what she'd done wrong. Marcus and Jade reached out too, both separately. Marcus admitted he'd known excluding me was wrong, but hadn't wanted to rock the boat. Jade confessed she'd been jealous of how much effort I put into things and had felt overshadowed. They were messy apologies, imperfect, but they were something. I didn't immediately welcome everyone back with open arms. I didn't pretend everything was fine. I took my time. I processed. I went to therapy and worked through the trauma of being excluded by the people who were supposed to love me most. And I learned something crucial. You can love your family and still set boundaries. You can want relationships with them and still require them to treat you with respect. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your life just because you share DNA. This year, I'll be hosting a small dinner for New Year's. My friends will be there. My mom asked if she could come, and after a lot of thought, I said yes. But I made it clear that this is my home, my event, and if she can't be respectful and appreciative, she's not welcome. She agreed. I don't know if my family will ever fully understand what they put me through. I don't know if we'll ever have the kind of close relationship I once thought we had. But I know this. I will never again sacrifice my self-worth for anyone's approval. I will never again pour from an empty cup trying to earn love that should be freely given. To everyone watching this, everyone who's made it to the end of the story, I need you to understand something. If you've ever been excluded, dismissed, or taken for granted by your family, it's not your fault. You're not too much. You're not too intense or too controlling or too anything. You are worthy of love and respect and celebration exactly as you are. And if the people who are supposed to love you can't see that, then they don't deserve access to your beautiful heart. Hit that like button if this story resonated with you. Subscribe to this channel because we're building a community here of people who understand what it's like to choose themselves even when it's hard. And comment below telling me where you're watching from. Are you in Texas? Florida? California? New York? I want to know I'm not alone. I want to know you're out there, surviving your own battles, learning to set your own boundaries. My name is Elena, I'm 26 years old, and when my mom told me we weren't celebrating Christmas together this year, it almost destroyed me. But instead, it freed me. It taught me that sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is permission to walk away from people and situations that don't serve you, even when those people are family. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And remember, you are enough, exactly as you are.